that picture on you.
Back.
Calm down. I'm not going to do nothing to you.
You're trying.
With water, that's what you're going to defend yourself with? I would beat the dog shit out of you if I wanted to.
Dealing with the devil here. I am back with part 2 of one man versus an entire city. I have started new medication for my ADHD, so I'm hoping that I can get through this video without having to read from a script, so you guys don't have to hear my monotone reading voice throughout. That ADHD has definitely made this doing this kind of work a difficult process for me, as well as my post-traumatic stress disorder and my anxiety, depression, you know, all the mental illnesses that I have. Anyway, now today with this portion, I'm going to be calling out some more citizens, which I don't really like to do. I want to call out public servants. However, with the state of the country right now, I feel that it is necessary that I call out these private citizens for their own actions. And in this video, we'll go over a mistake that I made. I'm human too. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, and I did make a mistake in this one as well. Now, the video will speak for itself, I believe, but then again, you know, sometimes people see two different things, even in a video. But we'll let the video speak for itself here. And I thought really hard about whether or not I was going to call this guy out by name, and I've decided that I will do so. Because the things that he did were wrong. He tried to put me in jail for something that I didn't do. And it just goes to show you what these liberals are capable of. The radical left is at it again. They're destroying this country. And it's because of people just like this guy that I'm going to talk about today. I wish that I could identify every person involved in this situation, because there are a lot of people that have assaulted Henry Contreras, have gotten violent with Henry Contreras, and Henry Contreras has never done anything to anybody. All Henry Contreras does, he goes out, he writes what he believes on the sidewalk, which is a peaceful protest. You know, the radical left doesn't know what these peaceful protests are, because all they do is riot. But all Henry Contreras has done is peacefully protest. And these people have gotten violent with him. They've tried to create laws. They did create a law. They had the city council create a law specifically targeting one man. And these people have the audacity to go out and say that it's Trump supporters that are hateful, that it's Trump supporters that are violent. When all along, it was you people that are violent, that are fucking hateful. Anyway, I don't want this video to get too much longer than it needs to be. I'm going to go ahead and get into it. The person that I'm going to be calling out here today, his name is Randall Sampson. And to start it out, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what he said to the police officers that I did. And then I'm going to show you exactly what I did, and you guys can decide for yourself whether or not he was telling the police officers the truth. Now, this was early on into me investigating into the situation and seeing what was going on, what was really going on with this situation. Because I've seen the hate, I've been hearing about the hate up to that point, and I just wanted to figure out exactly what was going on. And this was the second time that I went out to observe Henry Contreras in his writing on the public sidewalks. The first time I went out, it was pretty uneventful. Nothing really happened. He got a little bit of support from some people, but I didn't really see any hate anywhere. I wasn't there long. And then the second time I went out, I had no idea that private citizens were following him around and washing off the chalk after him. And so I assumed that it was a public servant, because I am well aware that if you take somebody's picture in public, there's nothing I can do about it. If you take my picture in public, there's nothing I can do about it. And because you have no right to privacy in public. So a lot of these citizens don't understand that, and they want to cry about him recording them, and he doesn't record them. He records what he writes, and then he records people that interact with him. If you people didn't interact with him, he probably wouldn't film you. Now, as I was saying, if it is a public servant that takes your picture while they are on duty, if they are on the clock and they take your picture, even if they do it with their personal cell phone, they have created a public record, and you can do a records request to get that photograph from their phone, even if it is their personal phone. So when I ran into Randall Sampson, I assumed that he was a public servant. And this is what happened. And first, I'm going to show you what he told the police happened, and then I'll show you what happened. Said I was threatening him because I came up and asked him if he was a government employee.
Like this.
Which is perfectly legal.
Very threatening manner.
However, if he is a city employee, I have the right to. As you can see in that little 15-second clip, Mr. Sampson tells a police officer he got what, about 3 inches, 3, 4, 5 inches away from that wall. He said to the officer that I got that close to him and I was very aggressive and very threatening. Now let's see what the video shows that I actually did. Sir, are you a city employee?
I'm not going to answer any questions.
You're not going to answer any questions?
No, and you
keep
step
that
back.
You keep that
You
picture on you.
step back.
Calm down. I'm not going to do nothing to you.
If you're threatening me,
I'm not
you're going to
threatening
get
you.
this in the face.
I'm not threatening you. You're threatening me.
No.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
watching
I asked you a
public.
question.
I don't
Are you a
have to
city
answer
employee?
your question.
All right, you saved that picture
So
in your
fuck
phone.
off.
I'm going to do a public records request for that picture and every other
Do
picture.
whatever you want to do, asshole.
What I do to you? I didn't do nothing to you.
You're out here with this asshole.
I'm talking to him, so I'm automatically guilty of something?
I'm taking a picture of the sidewalk.
No, you took a picture of me, you
You
piece of
happened to
shit.
be in it, didn't you?
What? I happen to be in, you fucking pointed it right at me, you dumb fuck. And then you want to threaten me.
What does he do?
And then you want to threaten
And
me.
what does he do?
I don't
What
give
do
a
you
fuck
do?
what he does.
Get
Fucking
back.
do it then,
Get
bitch.
back.
Let me fucking defend
Get
myself.
back.
Let me defend myself. I don't need to get back. This is a free
I'm
country.
doing
I'm not doing shit to you.
This
And you're
is-
acting like a jackass.
This is not your business.
You're a piece of shit.
Step back.
And you don't deserve goddamn
Step
taxpayer
back.
dollars for your bullshit.
Step back. You're
Take
not
my
going
fucking-
to intimidate me.
I ain't intimidating shit.
No, you're not going to
You
intimidate
just act like
me.
a dumb fuck.
What's this?
I don't give a fuck.
What's this?
That's free speech, you dumb
No,
fuck.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
Disrupting.
Then why hasn't he been arrested?
Get out of here.
Do it.
Get away from me.
Do it. Please do it.
No.
I fucking beg you.
Until you
I
threaten
fucking
me,
beg
until
you.
you get in my
No,
face
you're
and threaten
threatening me, you dumb fuck. I apologize if I speak like that. But you're acting like a
Spit
fucking
again on
dumb
me.
fuck.
Spit again on
I
me.
didn't even fucking mean it. It was
It's
right
assault.
there.
It's assault.
What do you think that is?
I'm not spraying you.
No, you're just threatening
I'm
me.
defending
I
myself.
ain't fucking done shit to you, you
defending
dumb
myself.
fuck. With water? With water? That's what you get to defend yourself with? I would beat the dog shit out of you if I wanted
Think
to.
so? You think so?
Yeah, I know so.
Get back. You'll be in
Alrighty, well that got a little bit heated. let's go over a few things that happened in that situation. First and foremost, I want to go over what I did, some of my actions in that situation. As you can see in the video, I never got within 5 feet of him, let alone within 5 inches of him. He said I was right up in his face to the police officer, and that I was very threatening. I'd never threatened him. Excuse me, sir, are you a city employee? And he immediately gets into threatening me with a pressure washer. Now, I can't say that I was too fearful of that pressure washer, at least the water part of it. However, that being said, that water comes out of there at probably at least a couple hundred pounds per square inch. Now, if you take that directly to the eyeballs at point blank range, that's going to cause extreme bodily injury. Also, if he would have started swinging that thing on me, I'm willing to bet that handheld thing probably weighs about 5 pounds. If he would have started trying to whack me in the head, he could cause great bodily injury and maybe even death. What he doesn't understand is at any point in that time, at least in some states, I would have been able to pull out the pocket knife that was in my pocket, and I could have stabbed his ass in the fucking neck and watched him bleed out on Main Street simply for the threat. Because if you fear for your life in most states, you can defend yourself. The act of threatening somebody with a weapon is enough for somebody to defend themselves. However, that said, in the state of Washington, I believe there is a duty to retreat clause. Therefore, if you can retreat, you must. So if I would have pulled out my pocket knife there and stabbed him, I probably would have gotten fucking trouble. I didn't want to stab him at any point. I'm just saying that he could have caused great bodily injury. And had he started swinging on me with it, I probably would have had to pull my knife out at some point to defend myself. Because he was at least attempting to attack me with a weapon. Now, at one point I did spit a little bit when I was yelling at him. And I saw the spit go off to the side. And then he wanted to act like it hit him. It never did. And he said, that's assault. So is you threatening me with a weapon. That's technically assault. Had you hit me with the weapon or sprayed me with the weapon, then it would become a battery. Now, you know, I can't blame these people for not understanding the law too much, but, you know, if you're out there in the public acting like a jackass, maybe you should understand the law a little bit better than he does. But you can also see the difference in the character of the two individuals involved. When I accidentally spit, even though it didn't hit him, you hear me say, I apologize for spitting. Like, I wasn't trying to get into this big argument with him. I wasn't trying to get in a shouting match with him. I wouldn't have minded having a conversation with him. And throughout the whole ordeal, like, it did calm down a little bit later on. But I was very triggered in the fact that I was threatened with a weapon on Main Street for observing somebody peacefully protesting. And these people go out there, like I said earlier, they go out there and they say that Henry Contreras is full of hate and Trump supporters are full of hate and they're out there being violent. No, you guys are out there being violent. This guy couldn't see past his own hatred of Henry Contreras that he would threaten a complete stranger, a disabled veteran, on Main Street of Walla. And what did Officer Kelty do when he got there? Nothing. He took the side of Randall Sampson for the most part. And I did some yelling at him too. Unfortunately, my laptop was destroyed, so I lost my video footage of this. I could get the body cam footage to show you guys further me yelling at the cop. But they like to charge me like $1,000 for the smallest amount of police body cam. So I'm not going to be spending my money on that. But I will admit, I yelled at him plenty. And the only time that Officer Kelty ever acted like he was going to arrest somebody was after he said that I instigated it, which I didn't. Me saying, excuse me, sir, are you a public servant, is not instigating violence, no matter how you look at it. And I called Officer Kelty an ignorant fuck in that moment And that's the only time that he turned around and acted like he wanted to do something. But he knew that he couldn't do anything because it's my free speech to call him an ignorant fuck. And furthermore, I think that shows you that we have a big problem with the Walla Walla Police Department if they are unwilling to look at a citizen's video that shows the proof of what happened in this situation, that a disabled veteran was threatened with a weapon on Main Street in Walla Walla, and Officer Kelty in the Walla Walla Police Department would not do anything to the man that was threatening somebody with a weapon on Main Street. Now that is just ridiculous if you ask me. Now later on in this, maybe it's not all on video, but it did calm down, and like some of the conversation that I had with the guy was just fine. He was a complete asshole pretty much throughout, but we could have like a back and forth without screaming at each other. But he did still try and put me in jail for something that I didn't do, and I think he's a despicable human being for that. That said, once again, going on the character of the two people involved in that, I apologized to him because I felt bad, because I always do my best to try and give people the benefit of the doubt and, try and see things from their perspective. And I apologized for yelling at him on Main Street. Even though I feel that I was fully justified in yelling at him, I think I would have been fully justified had I punched him in his mouth. Now, he wouldn't apologize to me. He thinks that he did everything right. Lying to a police officer to try and have a citizen arrested when they didn't do a single damn thing to you just because you can't see past your own hatred of one man that's writing some words on the street. That's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic, Randall Sampson. You really should grow up. That's what you should do. You should grow the hell up. You should learn how to have a conversation with people. And guess what? For all of you that have been assaulting him and watching people assault him and not doing a damn thing about it and cheering those people on, and a lady even said, thank you for your service to this guy because he's out there spraying it down. She said, thank you for your service to a man that just threatened a disabled veteran on Main Street for asking him a question. How ridiculous can these people get? But all you people that go out there and see what these people are doing to him, and you guys choose to do nothing because you hate what he writes and you feel that people are entitled to assault people based off of words that they write in a peaceful protest, all of you are despicable human beings. And all of you that went to that Trump rally in early June, the anti-Trump rally, you guys are next. You guys are in part 3. I hope you guys look forward to that and actually pay attention to it. But I know that you liberals won't watch anybody that you disagree with. Therefore, you guys will never take accountability for your own actions. But yeah, I got something for you guys, including one man that's trying to run for city council, I believe, that was there and gave a speech, and he made himself look like a jackass too. So that will come up in part 3. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off here. There is a little bit more video footage, I believe, of me yelling at the cop and trying to talk my way through it. I'm going to go ahead and post that at the end of this. Other than that, that pretty much does it for part 2. I do want to say, though, that I find it quite disturbing that Officer Kelty in the Walla Walla Police Department would refuse to watch my video that proved that I didn't instigate anything there and that I was threatened with a weapon on Main Street when I never got that close to him. If we were social distancing, I was well within 6 feet from him. You could see me point my hand out where I'm pointing at his pocket where he put his phone, and I'm not within arm's reach of him. He has that little water gun pointed at me at the same time, and our hands and that water gun aren't even touching. That's how far away we were, and I never got that close to him. Even once I put my hands up and I said, whoa man, I'm not coming at you. That's not what I'm trying to do here. But he didn't care. He couldn't see past his own hatred of Henry Contreras, and he threatened me. Plain and simple. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm sorry if it tailed on a little too long. Maybe my face is dirty. I hope you guys don't make fun of my face being dirty. You know, that's what some people did in my last video. I find it kind of hilarious. You know, I raise chickens. I do all my work in my own house. You know, I fix my cars. You know, I do this in my spare time. You know, so will I be dirty sometimes? Yeah. I don't give a fuck. And as you can see, the difference between me and them, and this is a problem with this country too, is nobody's willing to admit their mistakes. I made a mistake here. I assumed he was a public servant, and I was wrong. I shouldn't have assumed that. Like, he wasn't wearing a uniform. I should have caught on that he wasn't a public servant. And had he told me, no, I'm not a public servant, I would have turned around and walked away. Because there's nothing I could do about him taking my picture as a private citizen in public. Anyway, as always, thank you for your time. This is Dealing with the Devil. Stay tuned for part 3. I don't answer questions.
You don't have to. Just say, how's it going? Everything all right? We staying peaceful?
Barely. Barely.
Yeah, he threatened me with
Been
this
feeling
little
quite threatened.
device. Said I was threatening him because I came up and asked him if he was a government employee.
Like this.
Which is perfectly legal.
Very threatening manner.
However, if he is a city employee, I have every right to
He's not a public employee.
I'm sorry.
He's not a city employee.
Okay.
There you go.
Just wash off the sidewalk.
Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
Clean it up. Clean up sidewalks.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
What I got a problem with is people taking my damn pictures if they're government employees, which I assumed he was because
I do have my camera on before.
Yeah, we want you to have your
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. No.
But, well, I mean, we had.
You video just like he does, right? You video us. He videos us all the time.
And what's wrong with it?
What's wrong with taking a picture?
Nothing. But if you're a government employee, which I thought that you
Right,
might
right.
be, I know that now. You didn't tell me that. You wouldn't tell me
I
anything.
don't owe you
You
any
basically
answers
told me to fuck
anything.
myself
I don't
and
owe you
then
any
pointed
answers.
that shit
Wait,
in my face.
so we can sit here and just argue, or we can just be like reasonable adults and men.
No, we've been more reasonable
Okay.
these last
So,
few
I
minutes.
guess-
It got a little bit unreasonable. I won't lie to you, but
So what's our plan for now? Like, obviously you guys aren't getting along. So can we disperse?
no, we've been talking.
It doesn't appear so. It appears that everybody's
Disagree on a few things.
okay.
You can still talk. And I can Well, that's my video for you, but I did want to point out one last thing here, and I'm a firm believer that mental illness is not an excuse for people to treat other people like jackasses. And though I do feel that I was justified in being angry with the man that threatened me on the street for no goddamn reason, and I do feel that a lot of people would have reacted in a similar manner. There's a lot of people that are a lot more aggressive than I am that probably would have reacted in violence after being threatened like that. But I'm not a very aggressive person. I don't believe in violence over words. I think it's fucking stupid. Anyway, that being said, I don't believe that mental illness is an excuse, and that's why I apologized to the man right there that day. I did. And I believe that I should have been in more control of my emotions than that. So, going forward, hopefully I can get better at controlling my emotions better than that. However, that being said, like I said, I think I was fully justified. And it just goes to show the difference in the people here in this country. Like, you got one side that's willing to be complete assholes, and he went straight to violence. Straight to violence. Excuse me, sir, are you a public servant? Get off me! Go away or I'm gonna spray you in the face, man. It's wild to me. It's depressing. It's very concerning considering where this country is right now and all the things going on, all the riots going on right now all across the country. Y'all people need to start taking a look in the mirror, because the only fascists I see is you. The only violent people I see is you. The only hateful people I see is you. Now, I got my fair share of criticisms of the Republican Party too. I don't subscribe to them. I'm not the biggest fan of Donald Trump. I do think Donald Trump was far better than Kamala Harris, traitor ass, and she's just a puppet. Anyway, all that can go to a later video, I suppose. For those of you that made it this far, I thank you. Have a wonderful day.